boxing, and we've got a treat in store on Saturday night. You guys in the UK watch on Sky Sports. We lucky in South Africa, we've got The Zone. That's where the fight will be at before everybody asks me where is it showing. But we're talking about Anthony AJ Joshua defending his WBA, WBO and IBF World Heavyweight titles against a former undisputed cruiserweight champ from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. And that's happening at Tottenham Hotspur football grounds. Now, Usyk represents a potential banana peel because we were all set for Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua, a big UK showdown. Then Deontay Wilder threw a spanner in the works, so they're going to have to fight for a third time. And then Usyk, of course, is the mandatory challenger. So it's a good thing that Anthony Joshua is getting this one out of the way. Now, Oleksandr Usyk is arguably the most accomplished fighter that Anthony Joshua has faced. He's faced quite a quality number of heavyweights in the top 10, but aside from Vladimir Klitschko, I don't think any other fighter that he faced can claim the accomplishments of Oleksandr Usyk. Now, Usyk cleaned out the cruiserweight division, won the World Boxing Super Series, unified all the titles. He beat who's who of a cruiserweight division, won his WBO title against Glovaski, defended it against our own Tabiso Unu, who's a contender at the moment, unified with Maris Bridis, who's the current ring champ and IBF champ, and also beat Murat Gassiev, whom nobody really wanted part of, and then topped it off by defending all the belts against Tony Bellew. But that was then, and this is now, and since then, Usyk has had 2 fights at heavyweight. He didn't look very impressive. He fought Chaz Witherspoon, it was decent sort of heavyweight, but nobody's world beaten, not really contender material. He stopped him on his feet. Then he took on Derek Chisora in England, and he won on points. It was a competitive fight, but it was far from impressive. The old boy put hands on him, had him looking uncomfortable in the first few rounds, and then eventually Chisora he just couldn't maintain that intensity. As he got tired, Usyk started clipping him, had him sort of stunned or off balance for a while, but never looked close to really knocking him out or stopping him like Dylan White did or Anthony Joshua did. So the consensus is that Oleksandr Usyk is a very good boxer. He's a tricky southpaw. He moves well. He's got a very high work rate. He can be a volume puncher, and he attacks from all sorts of awkward angles. At cruiserweight, he's had a good chin because he's awkward, and he's a very good technical boxer. But he takes a shot here and there. Chisora laid hands on him, so Joshua should be able to as well. But it's going to be probably the hardest puzzle boxing IQ wise for Anthony Joshua to figure out, because he's got a really good boxer in front of him here, and he's not fighting an aging legend like he did against Klitschko. He's fighting a guy still in the prime of his career. But can Oleksandr Usyk accomplish it at heavyweight? That is the question. We can look at Evander Holyfield, who came from cruiserweight and became a great champion at heavyweight as well. David Haye won a belt at heavyweight and against a much bigger guy. But if I look at Oleksandr Usyk, to me, he's not Evander Holyfield. Holyfield was a much stronger fighter physically and power-wise as a heavyweight. Oleksandr Usyk is more to me like a Michael Spinks, who came from light heavy and upset Larry Holmes. The thing now with Usyk is he's not facing Larry Holmes. Now, even aging Larry Holmes, I think, is a better technical boxer than Anthony Joshua. But Joshua is younger and he's much stronger and he can hit. Now, how will Oleksandr Usyk take those bombs from Joshua? Then again, how will Joshua deal with the speedy combinations from Usyk? Because Joshua has shown that he's got some versatility in his game. He was streaking along, and then Andy Ruiz upset the apple cart, and then Joshua outboxed Ruiz in a rematch in Saudi Arabia. And his last fight, he gave a very calculated, methodical display of boxing, gradually breaking down Kubrat Pulev and eventually knocking him out in 9 rounds. But Usyk is a lot more awkward than either Pulev or Andy Ruiz. Could it be that Pulev really was not that good to begin with, and that Ruiz lost the rematch more due to himself and eating himself out of contention or at weight gain. I think it's a bit of both. I think Ruiz didn't do himself any favors, but Joshua showed that he could add new levels to his game, could change the game plan. Now, for Anthony Joshua, what we do know, he hasn't got a great chin. Dillian White wobbled him, so did Oleksandr Povetkin. Andy Ruiz stopped him. So Klitschko had him on the floor and close to a stoppage. So he hasn't got the greatest of chins, but does Usyk have the power to really do anything about it? I think for Oleksandr Usyk, yeah, he's a slow starter, and but he's got to watch out here, because if AJ jumps on him, he could get him out of there early. So he should start a little bit quicker, and he just has to make Anthony Joshua follow him across the ring, reach, hit a lot of air, make him work at a pace that he's not comfortable with. And if you do that, a big muscular guy like Anthony Joshua is eventually going to gas, and he needs to be a will-o-wisp and move and punch and move and punch and turn and move and punch. I hope to tire Joshua out, because if he's got Joshua gassing and he lets fly with those combinations, a guy who hasn't got a great chin like Joshua, maybe he can grind him down to a late round stoppage. The thing is, for Oleksandr Usyk to get a decision here, Joshua's a big cash cow. As much as we hate boxing politics, it is what it is. I don't see Usyk winning a decision if he doesn't take 8 clear rounds out of a 12 against Anthony Joshua. I don't think he can do that. So if I'm Usyk, I'm going to keep up that pace and try and see if I can't make Anthony Joshua sort of gas out in the later rounds and then take advantage of it. For Anthony Joshua, I think he should jump on Usyk early. Try and get rid of Usyk before all the technical stuff that Usyk does becomes a problem. He's fought a southpaw in Charles Martin, but Oleksandr Usyk is way better than that. So I don't know how much of a stylistic problem Usyk is going to be for Anthony Joshua, but I think because he's got a bit of a wonky chin, people underestimate all the other good things about Anthony Joshua. So this is a fight where he could take a chance on the underdog, but I think Anthony Joshua, I'm saying he should jump on Usyk early, but I'm not sure if he's going to do it, because we've seen against Pulev, he hurts a guy and then he holds back a bit. He's very conscious of not gassing himself out, like what happened against Klitschko, or maybe against Ruiz as well, to an extent in the first fight. So I think Anthony Joshua is probably going to score a knockdown early on. It won't surprise me, or wobble Usyk quite badly. But I think Usyk, my gut feel is that he's a very savvy pound for pound level boxer. I think he's going to find a way to survive the storm. But I think in the end, Anthony Joshua is going to land the harder punches. Usyk is going to frustrate him. He's going to escape being knocked out himself. He's going to outwork Anthony Joshua in some rounds. But I think Anthony Joshua will make more a dent on Usyk of his punches than Usyk will make on him. So therefore, I think Anthony Joshua is going to win a decision in a fight that's going to be more of a chess match. I don't think it's going to take off and take fire like some people expect. But I think it's going to be a technical chess match. I'm curious to see what Usyk can do against such a guy with a height advantage, a reach advantage, a bigger, young guy. Kudos to Usyk for daring to be great. But Usyk to me is not Evander Holyfield. He's more like Michael Spinks. And Anthony Joshua is the wrong kind of opponent for a Michael Spinks type fighter. And so for that reason, I'm going for Anthony Joshua in this fight. But I do have a suspicion that Usyk is going to find a way to see out the distance. But let's see what happens on Saturday night on The Zone. And until I see you guys again, if you're still listening, you might as well like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And until next time, remember to keep those gloves up.